In this video, we'll set up an elegant web UI for the AI model running on the Jetson Orin Nano. We'll also learn to use load profiling tools like the Jetson Power GUI to monitor the GPU load at that moment, and I'll also give you access to a free tool which helps us see how the GPU load varied over time. Welcome back to the channel. Let's first check that we have the model that we installed in our previous video by using the command Ollama list. Yep, so we see the Gemma 3 4B model, which is a 4 billion parameter model that we've installed. We'll also check that Ollama is actually running by doing the command curl http 127.0.0.1, which is our localhost IP address, and the port that Ollama defaults to is 11434. Great, and if we do that, we see Ollama is running. Another way that you can do that is to simply open this in a browser, and you'll see Ollama is running in the browser window as well. Let's get back to the terminal now. Now that we've performed the initial checks, let's go ahead and clear the screen so we have a clean slate to begin with. The first thing we'll do is check if Docker is installed. Docker should come along with the JetPack 6.2 version that we've installed. So let's just check by doing docker -- version. Yep, so we do see Docker version 27.5 installed. In case you don't have Docker installed already, use the commands shown in the screen to install Docker. Now let's run our Docker command. The command we're going to use is docker run -d. The -d flag here means that we'll be running the container in a detached state. Essentially, all that means is that it'll be running in the background. We'll then give the name, so that's --name, Open WebUI, and then we want to share the network between the container and our Jetson board. So let's use the flag --network equals host. Now OpenWebUI needs to know where Ollama is running, so we'll give the IP address and port number by setting the environment variable Ollama base URL. To set an environment variable, we'll use the -e command line argument and then say Ollama base URL equals http 127.0.0.11434. And then we'll keep this Docker container running unless it is stopped by using the --restart flag, and we'll run it unless stopped. And finally, we'll give it the path to the container repository, which is ghcr.io/open-webui/openwebui main. I'll have this command in the description if you'd like to simply copy and paste it instead of typing the whole thing out. I'll hit return, and here we see a permission denied error for Docker. This is because our user group hasn't been added to Docker. To check if that is the case, enter the command groups, and in this list we don't see Docker anywhere. To add Docker to our user group, you do sudo usermod -a G docker and $user. Hit enter and enter your password. Now let's check groups again. We still don't see Docker added to our user group. And this is because once you add Docker to the user group, we'll need to log out of our user account and log back in. So I'll do that now. Go to power off logout and click logout and say logout here. Let's log back in, enter your password here. Let's open the terminal and check groups. Now we see Docker on here. If you still don't see Docker, try logging out and logging in again. And give it some time before you log in. Now we'll run the same docker run command that failed last time. Let's try this again. Now it's pulling the OpenWebUI Docker container. We now have OpenWebUI running via the Docker container. And by the way, if you haven't switched your power mode, you can do that and get the maximum performance by going to power mode and selecting max and super from the list. To monitor the GPU load, let's go to run Jetson Power GUI or GUI. In this window, we see the GPU load over here, right under the GPU section. Right now, we see almost a consistent 0% load on the GPU. Occasionally, you'll see some load on here, like maybe 10 to 20%, but that is it. Now, let's open up OpenWebUI on our Chromium browser. By default, OpenWebUI is served on port 8080, and since it's on the same computer, we can use the localhost IP address 127.0.0.1, but the port number is going to be 8080. Alright, now we see the OpenWebUI web interface. This looks great, much better than the command line interface that we were using in the last video. So let's click on Get Started. We've got to create an admin account here. So let me just provide the details and click on Create Admin Account. We can close the pop-up message. And here we have a ChatGPT-like interface. So you can see here that there's a sidebar with your previous chat history that would show up once we start developing a chat history. You can create a new chat here. You can search through the chats that you've made so far. You can make notes, and you also have some extra options here for the workspace settings. So let's go to new chat. Now you can see here that even though we have not yet prompted the model to give us a response with any input prompts, the GPU load has gone up to a consistent around 30%. This is not because any generative AI load is running on the GPU. It is because the OpenWebUI web interface is taking up a lot of GPU load to simply render itself and show us this fancy interface. We could run a prompt here, and I'll show you that in a minute, but by running OpenWebUI on the browser of the Jetson Orin Nano, we have essentially eliminated around 30% of the GPU's capacity. In other words, we're only giving around 70% of the GPU's capacity to the AI workload, and we've taken away 30% for just the browser rendering. I'll show you a way to work around this and remove the browser load from the GPU. But for now, let's give it a prompt and check how the GPU workload changes while the AI model processes the prompts and gives out the response, aka inference. The input prompt that I'm going to give today is tell me about yourself in one sentence. I'm asking Gemma to explain what it can do for us in one sentence. And we'll hit enter. And there we go. You see the load at 99% while the model is responding, and afterwards as well because of some cleanup, and then it will drop to 0% like we saw there. The Jetson Power GUI tool is super useful to look at the GPU load and other load as well, but it only gives us the load at any given point in time. If we wanted to look at a chart of how the load varied over time while a model was processing the input prompt and giving us the inference output, the Jetson Power GUI tool does not do that. To help us with that, I developed a tool called Load Profiler. It's a Python script that you can grab too and run on your own Jetson Orin Nano board by clicking on the link in the description and getting it delivered right to your email inbox. Let's start the Load Profiler script first. This script requires sudo access, so if you are prompted for your password, enter it here. We can now ask another question to our AI model. I'm going to ask it to write a haiku about pets. Let's hit enter, and we see the model working. Now that the model has produced its output, we can go ahead and end the load profiler script, and we can take a look at the plot that it produces. To end the load profiler script, press Ctrl and C together, and then you'll wait for some time, and you'll see the Jetson profile.html automatically open in your Chromium browser. Let's take a look at this plot. So we started the load profiling script before we sent the prompt to the AI model. In the beginning, we see that the load is not too high. We saw that when the browser is running, the GPU was at around 30 to 40% load, and we see that baseline load present throughout the initial period. Then we see a huge spike in the GPU load, which is this blue line here. And it stays high around 100%, it's like 99% of GPU load until the model finishes responding. And when it finishes responding, it goes back to its baseline 30 to 40% utilization rate. And this 30 to 40% utilization rate again is just the browser rendering that's needed for the OpenWebUI. I also have a red line being plotted here, and that's the EMC utilization percentage. The EMC stands for External Memory Controller, and it's essentially a measure of how much DRAM bandwidth is being used. The EMC percentage is also initially stable at some baseline rate, and then when the model starts producing the inference output, we see a big ramp in the EMC utilization, and it stays there until the model has finished producing the inference output, and then it drops off slowly. I've also added a range slider to this plot, so if you wanted to zoom into any specific portion, you can do that by simply dragging the range slider in the bottom. Great! I hope this chart makes it easier to understand what's going on under the hood on the Jetson Orin Nano board. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we can drive this 30 to 40% base utilization rate on the GPU down to somewhere around 0%? So we have the full GPU capacity available for the AI model workload, rather than spending 30 to 40% in browser rendering workloads. Let's see how we can do that now. Let's open up the Jetson Power GUI again. Let's close out this chart that we generated, and we now see the load on the GPU has gone up to like 30 to 40% again. So this is the load that we want to get rid of. So if we do not want to load the GPU with the OpenWebUI browser rendering, we have to not have the browser open on the Jetson Orin Nano. So let's close it, and now we see that the load drops to 0% and stays there pretty much throughout the entire time. However, if we don't have the browser open, how are we going to give the prompt to the AI model? Yes, we could go back to simply providing the prompt over the command line like we did in the previous video, but we really like the web interface, don't we? So if we want the best of both worlds, we want a good UI on the web browser, and we want to use most of the GPU capacity to run the AI workload rather than browser rendering, there is one thing we could do. We could open up the browser in another computer that's connected to the same network and use that computer's processing power to render the web page while the AI workload runs completely on the Jetson Orin Nano. To do that, we'll have to first find out the IP address of the Jetson Orin Nano. We'll use the command hostname -I, and we see that the IP address is 192.168.68.71. Again, this is local in my network. The IP address for your Jetson Nano in your network is going to be different. So make note of the IP address on your end. Alright, so this is a browser on my Mac machine. This is not a browser on the Jetson Orin Nano board. The terminal view that you see there is from the Jetson Orin Nano, but the browser is on my Mac machine. Since we noted down the IP address of the Jetson Orin Nano, we can use that IP address on the browser on another machine as long as it is connected to the same Wi-Fi network or to the same Ethernet network. Essentially, the computer that you're going to use the browser at and the Jetson Orin Nano have to be on the same network, whether it's wired or Wi-Fi. I have both the Jetson Orin Nano and my Mac machine connected to the same Wi-Fi network, and so I can access that machine from here. So let's go to the IP address 192.168.71 and port 8080. This opens the WebUI from OpenWebUI. We can now enter the email ID and password and sign in. As you can see, we have our previous chats that we made directly on the Jetson Orin Nano. Since the browser is no longer running on the Jetson Orin Nano, its GPU load should be really low at this point. Let's go back to our pet haiku poem chat. And before we give the prompt, let's start the load profiler script. Once that's running, let's give it a prompt and ask it for another haiku. Alright, so that was a quick one. Let's stop the script. Let's get back full screen to the Jetson Orin Nano's display so we can see what the profile looks like. Now that we have the plots, let's take a look at them. In this plot, you can clearly see that the baseline GPU load has gone down to close to 0%. Every now and then there's some load given to it, but mostly it's gone down to 0% as compared to the previous plot where we saw a 30% baseline load on the GPU that was just for browser rendering of the OpenWebUI interface. This means that we are giving the AI model the full capacity of the GPU to process its workload, and we're not eating away 30 to 40% just for browser tasks. And apart from the baseline, you see the usual where when inference starts, we see the GPU pick up about 99% or it's running at full capacity, and we also see a corresponding increase in the EMC usage. And once inference stops, the load drops off, and again we return back to the baseline of 0% GPU load. This is great because now we're properly utilizing the GPU. And again, if you want to grab this Python script that profiles the load on the Jetson Orin Nano, please feel free to grab it from the link below in the description. You can use this script to compare and contrast the GPU load across various scenarios. In the next video, we will do one such comparison where we run one short inference pass and one long inference pass and compare the GPU load between those two passes. Until then, check out my other videos that you may find helpful. Happy learning, and I'll see you in the next one.